Hi, my name is Dimitri and welcome to the PTV project.
So let me show you a bit of the progress. I have modified the tilting system again. This is the third time I'm doing and hopefully this is going to be the last one. Well, the big modification was I bought this aluminium that was crimped with a hydraulic crimper, and this should hold really well, and it also looks a little bit slicker. Other than that, the big job was the seat. Finally, I have a proper seat and I eliminated that ugly wooden bench, and this is this looks so much better. I'm so happy with how it came out. It was a ton of work because I had to modify the frame. Let me show you underneath. So if you followed the project, you maybe remember, or maybe not, but anyway, this frame didn't end up here. It ended up about 12 centimeters above, and then there was the bench. So I had to cut it, weld it. The welding was a little bit scary because I usually weld with the TIG welder, but I finished the Archon, so I had to use my stick welder. I don't think the welds came out terrible. They look decent. Let me show you this other one. I think they're fine. They're more than fine, actually. What I don't like is this seat support here. And the reason is it's quite crude, but the main thing is this tube here is 3 by 3 centimeters. And I wanted a tube, I needed a tube by 3 by 1.5, which I didn't have. So I had this tube 1.5, and it's 4 centimeter wide, which means it's wider than the tube. So when I move this seat, because the seat can be moved backwards and forwards, I have a little bit of this is as backwards as it can go, and there is just barely, let me show you, and there is just a few millimeters of space between this metal part and the seat, and I can move it forward about 5 centimeters. And the reason for that is next week when I take it out, I want to have my friends, some of them are shorter, to try this out. Also, I can change the angle of the seat. I can put some a thicker piece of tubing here to have a bigger angle, or I can remove this and have it flat. So this gives me options to test different configurations. But what happens is, if this was 3 centimeters by 1.5, was perfect. But because it's 4, I have a little bit of space between the screw here and this tube, which means when I move it, it can turn this way. But it's not a big deal. Whenever I move it, I have to just measure and be careful that the seat is straight, and that's about it. And it's so far it's fine. It's not perfect. It's gonna have to be modified, but so far it can do the job, which is enough. The seat itself. So the seat itself, I spent about almost 200 euros for it. This is a gaming chair, by the way, which is made with eco leather. But I like the way it looks. It's not so garish like other gaming chairs, and I do like that I can incline the back. It's not a seat that is designed for crash tests and stuff like that. I know this, but for what I need to do, it's fine. It's in the budget, and I think it looks also quite cool. So what's next? Well, next I have to paint all of the exposed metal. When I take it on the road, especially now that it's winter, there is salt, and I don't want to get it back and all be brown, full of rust. So this needs to be painted, and I think I will do the frame, all of the parts that don't move, with this metallic red, and every moving part on the suspension, the A-arms, to be done with this electric blue. I think it looks quite cool, but I want to hear your opinion. Maybe it can look ugly, which it can totally be. I just thought these two colors, I think they are quite pretty. Also, they are in theme with the project, so I have the rear wheel blue, all of the brake lines are blue, the seat is red, which stays with the frame, and I will also paint these two holes here. These are plastic, black plastic. I will paint them with the electric blue so that there's a theme around it. At least it looks presentable. After I finish that, putting it back together and doing all the suspension geometry. Right now, let me put it straight. It's a little bit... Okay, that's kind of straight. So let me show you what the problem is. The suspension is not properly regulated, and this needs to move on the outside, because this is how it should look. What happens is when I turn the vehicle this way, this bottoms out much sooner than it should, and the same happens with the other one when I do it this way. But these of course have to be regulated, the steering, the suspension, so that it works properly. So once I finish that, hopefully next week, if it's good weather, I should take it on a road. Close to where I live, there's a beautiful road that's about 2.5 kilometers, pretty much empty of traffic, and it's slightly downhill, which is perfect. I really can't wait to try this. There's so much work. That's gonna be kind of the boost that I need for the rest of the project.
The next thing I'm gonna do is gonna be the body, and the reason for that is I have no idea how I should do it. Now, I never done anything like this, but I did some metal working, I knew how to weld. So yeah, I never built suspension or a chassis or any of that, but I had a little bit of an idea of how to do metal work. I have no idea on how to do bodywork. So that is gonna be quite a big challenge. Carbon fiber is out of the question for the cost reason, and especially because this being the first prototype, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to have to do and redo until they are acceptable. But so far I am at a very good point. I'm really happy to see this thing coming along, and man, it's so comfortable. You know what, I've never been in a vehicle, maybe there are vehicles, I'm sure there are, but I personally never been in anything that is so comfortable. It's like you're literally sitting in a sofa, you're with your feet spread ahead of you. And yeah, it's really comfortable. This thing in traffic is gonna be amazing. So I'm super happy with how it came out. Now that I put the seat, I will have to make a mechanism so that when I get out, the floor to move forward, because this is in the way. When I had the seat before, because I was sitting higher, it was a little bit easier to get out. But now I'm about 10 centimeters lower. This the final height. So with me sitting here and I have about a few centimeters above my head, is going to be about 1.3, 1.35 meter high. So your car sitting position, super comfortable. And I think this is going to be very fun to drive. It's probably going to be the closest thing you're going to drive to flying a jet. I know I'm exaggerating, of course I'm exaggerating, but tell me another vehicle where you sit like this and go into corner and just lean onto them. I don't think there's anything. So far so good, I'm really happy. Once I test drive it, I will publish on the channel a video. I have worked so long on it. It's been all of the editing of all of the work that I've done. So if you want to do something similar, or just you want to do your own project and well, see how I've done it and maybe learn from me as much as I've learned from others, because the thing is, and one of the reasons why I'm posting on YouTube is I don't think I would have been able to make this without other people on YouTube who made it, and I see their work and took inspiration, and of course did my own thing, but I add to the collective knowledge. So yeah, that's where we're at. Once I will finish the body, of course the powertrain needs to happen, and then I will have to look for investors. I genuinely want to make this thing happen. I genuinely want to make this product. I think it's something that's needed. I had a few people who asked me, because if you saw the first prototype, if you look at the channel when I started posting a few videos, here I had pedals, and now I don't have any more pedals. Why have I removed them? The reason is, in the first plan, in the first design, I had the steering on the side here. I had steering and tilting, so you would steer like this and you would tilt the vehicle like this, and the feet would be used just to pedal. That was very complicated, and because I have modified the suspension when I started, I figured out some of the things were not proper. Some of the measurements didn't really work out in reality. I didn't have the tolerances and the space to do the steering. And not only that, but the main reason why I didn't do it is because I would have a fork here. And how you get out is from the side. And if you have this, I have to make some system in which I have to take it back or something like that, which I decided not to do. The thing is, I believe that not everyone would buy a velomobile, because that's essentially what that would be. It would be a velomobile. I think a lot of people just want to go to work, they don't want to sweat, they want to do it in speed and comfort, but just have a vehicle that's superbly efficient. I think that's for most people. So the first is going to be, just a conventional electric vehicle. It's going to have a bigger motor, a frame, so that it protects you against crashes. And then there's going to be the, if things go well and I can move on with things, I will really love to do a sort of a velomobile. But the velomobile version will be a little bit different. I will have to figure out somehow to be able to control the tilting without using the feet, because those of course are going to be used to pedal, and I will have to figure out how to make it a lot lighter. So it's going to have of course much lighter frame, maybe even a carbon fiber one, so to keep it as light as possible and as simple as possible. And the other version, which is purely electric, goes faster, a lot heavier, but I think it's different things for different people. there is still a long road to go until there. Hopefully there are going to be people who would love to have something like this as much as I love building it and love having it for myself. I think it's really cool. So if you look this video, I'm not very good, I'm not a good storyteller, and I know when I talk my English is very bad, so I'm sorry for that. I'm doing my best. If you reach this point of the video, thank you very much. I want to thank anyone and everyone who always commented, liked my videos. That is, I really enjoy building this, and to have the community and have people on YouTube who share this passion and who like this, it's very much, you know, it gives me the courage to pursue and continue. I'll do it anyway, but it just adds, you know, it's even better, you know, it's even more enjoyable. Hopefully next week, if it's good weather, yeah, we're gonna have some fun. So wish you all a good day, and see you next time. Bye bye.